Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? What's up, all right? Shark, Moran. Hey, Raj. Hey, Rasto, what's going on? How you doing? Good afternoon, good morning. Hey, Kunj, how you doing? You can use the Discord and Green. All you guys who have joined the trading room, there's a thing called JJ Live ES Room. You can chat in there if you want. We'd invite you to. Hey, Serene Trading, what's going on? And then you can meet all the other folks. Welcome to the Trading Syndicate. I'm JJ, and it is the 24th of July. And dang it, this month went fast. Holy cow. Oh, you're driving? Okay, well, drive safely, okay? Drive safe. We don't want you getting into any accidents. Hey, Zeth, what's going on? Are you in the UK, Serene? Whereabouts? It's been a lot cooler here, up here in Liverpool. Hey, El. Raj is in London, and I think I'm the only one up north. Out in the country? Cool, cool. Well, it's going to be an interesting day. It's going to be an interesting day. We got a lot of short positions in the market from yesterday. There's a big one. Hang on, let me just. There's a big one right here under 63.88. Under each one of these half-hour bars, I can tell you there's definitely trap shorts. The bulk of the shorts are trapped underneath really 63.88 because what's going on is the last two half-hour periods where you see our overnight low just took this out and the buying came in and I bought that. I bought 94 against 92 and sold 97 on a look below and fail. And that area right there is where all the short covering has been because we had in the last hour of trading, not 4 o'clock, but 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern time, we had this move up. And everyone's caught short underneath this level. That's why it bid every time that we came down here. It bid and it bid and it bid, and it just did. So we're going to have to test that in RTH. Now, we've tested it here. If we open except above 6,400 and take out that overnight high, be careful because once again, up here, there's no supply. So the market could easily rip all the way up. And it's not even Friday, so hopefully we get some liquidation, right? But overnight inventory is about 98% short, which means that the bulk of all of the inventory has traded underneath yesterday's close. See that? So we've corrected upwards, but there's always been a seller here all night. If that seller goes away or moves up their price, shorts are going to be in trouble again. So there's multiple short positions in this market, and we'll see if we can fill some of them today. Now, I guess Tesla didn't do so great with their earnings. You know, stock is trading 310. That 328 is a big level for me. And I saw it struggling to stay over 328 the last couple of days. Not that I would have shorted it, but I wouldn't have been going long into the news, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens as time goes by. Let's go take a look at our more detailed market profile chart. There's that overnight low, and this is where we took. That's that last hour I was talking about. We just looked below it, came back up. I tried to buy 93, but I wasn't quick enough, so I ended up getting 94 to 97. And I'll show you that trade on the 1 minute candle. The trade was really clear on the 1 minute. There's that look below, right? Look below, fail. So you go long, put your stop there, and then you sell into strength. Now you know that there's going to be selling up here, so that's where you get rid of your position. I made 3 points on 4 contracts. It's not a bad little trade, right? No, I'm not going to the Bentley dealership or anything after work, but it pays the bills, right? UNH. You know, I've never looked at that stock, Lear. I'll run a chart on it later. Isn't that the one where the CEO got shot? Why do you use the previous day's close to determine whether inventory is long or short? Because we're comparing today's business to yesterday's. So if we look at where the prices closed yesterday, and if we're under those prices, the market profile guys, now I didn't come up with this, but it seems to work 60% of the time about. There'll be a correction upwards. If inventory is long, you'll get a correction downwards. Now, if you don't get those corrections, AJ, the market's trying to tell you there is something different about the business on the open. So we look to see if business is the same as the previous day. If there's any changes, then it tells us the normal business condition trade might not work. So if we have inventory short right now, okay, say the market opens and we don't get any movement up, or we get movement up to about 63.99 and all of a sudden, boom, right? There's a seller. Then we know if we can't get over 63.99, just arbitrary number, that there's more selling than we anticipated, so you don't take the long trade. It's just to give us situational awareness with respect to the business conditions of the previous day. That's my take on it. Now, I didn't write the book, but that's my take on overnight inventory. Hey, Renee, how are you? Ronan, Jeff, what's going on? Yeah, I'm in Liverpool. Much to everybody's surprise. I don't have a Scouse accent, but I am in Liverpool, Serene. Yeah, let's go and mark off VWAP. Okay. I've been here for a little while, SQ. My girlfriend works at one of the hospitals here, so we travel around and end up I end up following her around because all I need is an internet connection. You want to count scouse? What do they say? Chicken and chips or something like that? I don't know. It's hilarious. Ticker's still good. Ticker's still good. Thanks for asking, Jose. Yeah. Yeah, I like Liverpool. Great people. I love my Scousers. Much to Raj's chagrin, because he's a Manchester soccer dude. But I do love Liverpool. Hey, Josh, what's going on? How's Cowtown? Good. I don't watch hockey. I mean, soccer at all. I don't really watch hockey either. I haven't watched hockey since like the 70s. See, now we see we're creeping up. Let's see if we can get above that 98 and a quarter level. They do take their soccer pretty seriously up here. So I just try and stay mute. Yes, we still do the podcast. We have another one coming up soon. I think we're doing one tomorrow. Yeah, please block that. There's a couple of JJ imposters in the Discord room. The podcast is on Spotify. YouTube, Spotify, Apple's, Apple. Um, I think that's got them all covered. It's a slow market, SQ, this morning because really, would you really want to buy all-time highs with size? I wouldn't. So the only people who are buying up here, this is forced buying. This is very forced buying. The only people who are buying are people who got caught short and trapped last night. The podcast is Confessions of a Market Maker. That's me and Ray. Ray runs the equity side of things with Steve, and I'm over here in the futures room in the trading syndicate. Okay, we still have sellers at 98. That's good. That's good. We need sellers. You see how every time we come up to 98, here, 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 we might kind of go above it a little bit, but every time we get up there, they sell into it. That's good. That's healthy. Liquidation is healthy. I would fully expect, folks, to test the overnight low when we open. I want to see, because what happened was, here's the last half hour of trading, right? So if we separate that out, hey, Derek, if we separate N and O period. Now, N and O period is 4 to 5. A lot of people don't watch it. I do, right? But we closed here, and then you can see that this N period dipped, and then it ripped up here. So there's a ton of people that are trapped underneath 63.92. So when the market comes down to this 92 area, all of a sudden, magically everybody starts buying it, right? It's like bids, lots of bids down here because they're trapped underneath the cost basis of yesterday, right? It would be really nice. I don't have a bias right now, right? I don't have a bias. I would like to see some liquidation, which is not really a bias. I'm hoping for liquidation. Yes, Gitter, the podcast is Confessions of a Market Maker. Yes, sir. Right? I'm hoping for liquidation. But the way this market has been, basically since after COVID, I don't know if you folks have noticed, but just when everybody gets short, this market just seems to magically run out of supply. And nobody wants to sell. And that happens just as soon as everybody, his dog, his cat, his alligator, they all get short. Supply runs out, we get that move back up. Yesterday was quite surprising. When we took that A high, we kind of balanced a little bit between 70 and 80, and then all of a sudden it was off to the races. This period, which is called J period, usually that period corrects lower. Yesterday I watched it when it opened. It opened and it couldn't get one tick lower. It opened and just shot straight up. I was like, oh boy. So that's going to be an area, like for example, right here at 86 and at 82, if we get down here, look for responsive buying there. That's if we get down there. Okay? Right? Where the shorts are really trapped is what creates support. Because support is created by unfilled buy orders. The first people to put buy orders in a market are trapped shorts because they're trying to close positions. So they're taking risk off. So they're always the first in the door. Right? So it would be great to get some selling. Right? I am seeing sellers at 98. So as far as that's concerned, 20 SQ, I think I think lower off the open, but we seem to stop selling at 95, 94. That doesn't really help. You better not say soccer here. I know I keep saying soccer. And they love correcting me. They're like, "Oh, he's an import, don't worry. We'll get him saying football." I always try and wait until after the open. Sometimes I'll trade before the open, but I like to be flat before the market opens because I never know what the heck's going to happen when a market opens. I've actually, it's one of those things that I've never really done a lot. I don't like to trade into the, like, as the market opens. I like it to open up, let it settle in. Let's see who comes into the store, you know? Let's see who walks into Walmart, what kind of customer flow we have. It's because there's 23-hour trading days, right? It's a 23-hour trading day. We don't all have to bum rush the open, right? And at first, I didn't know how to trade the open, so I'd always kind of sit and wait for the first two half-hour periods. Once I started trading the 1-minute candle, I found it a lot easier to trade through the open if I had to. But I've done the last 2 weeks because I was doing okay in May, and then I went away at the end of May. And June, when I came back, I just went away for 4 days. But when I came back, I was so out of touch with the market, it took me a good 2.5 weeks to kind of get with the program again. And then I just started trading. I should say intelligently with discipline about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. But I've only taken 1 to 2 trades a day and then stopped. How much selling is good enough? Lonigan, right now we could use a lot of selling. You got to remember there's multiple. Remember those gaps? Have you guys remembered the gaps from last quarter? They're still there. We still have gaps underneath us that have not filled. Right? So this market is built on short position after short position after short position. Right now that doesn't mean you should just go and short it indiscriminately, but what it does tell you is that if there were any kind of serious event, right, this thing will fall apart like a cheap suit, right? Because it's kind of built, yeah, like there's 4 gaps underneath us. We're kind of built like, those houses that you see on the beach, they're built on stilts. That's what this market is like. Oh, now we're creeping past 98.5. Okay, pay attention, JJ. Right, let's see. Let's see if we can get over VWAP, because the point of control is down here, ladies and gentlemen. So if we get over VWAP, we're going to go and take this cheap stuff and go sell it here. Right? Remember, that's what inventory is all about. So as we come into VWAP, there should be a seller. Right? VWAP's right there. There should be a seller at VWAP. And now the market should backfill down. And if it backfills lower, right? Backfilling means coming back after a move higher. It should hold this 98 quarter level, right? So, see how it's going, slicing right through VWAP. Look at that. Look at that. Fascinating. So, once again, this is where the inventory is, right? A short-term inventory. The whole overnight inventory is short. But now we've got the short-term inventory underneath us. We're going to go take it and sell it, right? So I actually just bought one measly, lousy contract at 98.25, and I'm just going to pop it out here at 1 if I can before the open. Yeah, I'm flat. I missed that. I should have been building a little long position here and then selling it with a few more contracts, but that's okay. We could use a good liquidation. Now, next week is month end. I think Wednesday's month end. Thursday's the last trading day of the month. So, month end is when all the shorts go to cover. Yeah, that's much better trade location. See, that's the trade location I should have had, is around 96, 97 to VWAP. But I only woke up when we broke 98. I was like, oh, we broke 98. See, now look, that overnight point of control was 97. Slide that up to 6,400, right? So that's exactly, we're getting rid of product that we bought here, and we're getting rid of it here. So you can see the point of control is where 70% of your inventory is priced. So when you move it up, it means, ooh, they're coming for it. Good distribution, right? Other than that, it doesn't tell you a lot more. It doesn't tell you where to take the trade, right? It's just sort of like just telling you how the movement of inventory is going. It is not a poor low. A poor low is when you have a double bottom. So if this X period was at the same low as W, that would be a poor low. And the tip for a poor low is don't short into a poor low because there's competitive buying. Like don't buy a poor high because there's competitive selling. Now we're going to go open. Let's see if we can take that 6403 stop. What was the tariff tantrum low? We do have a poor high, Roman. We do indeed. Yeah. It's a poor high and it's also a weak high. Poor is how it looks, weak is its location. That's how you distinguish the two. $48.77. Thank you. We've come a long way since there, eh? Oh, good. It'll be good to have you back. And we're off. Little choppy, eh? Try a little long at 2. Out at 4. Let's backfill and see if we can hold the open. Yeah, the amount of technology these days layer is just insane, isn't it? See if we catch a bid around here. Let's see if we can get back to VWAP. Folks, if we can't get it back to VWAP, I have a feeling that we'll go tickle that overnight low. Yeah, it did, eh, Matt? Let's see. If we can get over 6,400, I'll take a little long, but it's struggling. Struggling. So there's a seller right there. Annoying. Right there. There's a seller at 1. It's choppy. Watching the offer at 1.5. Can we go 1 3/4? There we go. There's 2. Right? Still long at 1. Out at 2 1/4. It might go higher, but it can without me. Like I said, I had one good trade. I'm just going to scalp. Okay, what makes it weak? Now, this is not my interpretation truth. A weak low is a market profile term which was invented by Stadelmeyer and Dalton, and it says if the price goes to a very visible, obvious reference, like an overnight low, overnight high, previous day low, previous day high, stops and turns around, it makes it a weak low. They should actually take it a little bit further and tell you why. That's because everybody's waiting there to sell. That's what it really means, right? So a weak high is an area where everyone just kind of hangs out and waits to sell because everybody can see it. It's obvious. They should have called it an obvious low or an obvious high instead of a weak high. Because what they do is they have poor and weak and everybody gets confused. A poor high or a poor low means that it has less than 2 ticks of excess. It's either a double bottom or 1 tick. A weak low or a weak high is about the location of that high. Exactly. Exactly. But they should have called it an obvious high because everybody could see it. That would have made it a little bit more clear. Oh, sorry. Look above and fail of VWAP or 6,400 here? I don't know. Now I'm starting to get short biased. Hey, Hank. How you doing? If you're short under VWAP, well, VWAP's your warning. Okay? And then 6,400 will be your out. Yeah. Oh, you dirty rat. I'm short 99 1/4. And if we offer over 6,400, I'm gonzos. Come on, somebody sell something. Jeez. See how the offer is starting to lift? Now I see those two candles with the same bottom. That gives me pause. So I scratched one contract. I still got one on. No, I got two on. I'm not liking this short. Come on, there we go. Covered at 97 and a quarter. And I've got one left. I got it at 97 and three quarters. Not the greatest execution. Yeah, exactly, right? The market could feel like that, but as long, the only reason I stayed in that trade on this candle that we're in now is I actually got lucky. Because I was short three contracts at 99 and a quarter. And as soon as it got back over VWAP, I scratched. I was short four. I scratched one, and then I put bids in lower. But my last bid I didn't put in, so I had to scramble to cover it. Not exactly the best discipline. Doing good, Hank. It feels like Friday. Thanks, Jeff. Let's see. What's the next move here? It's not really obvious, is it? Oh, thanks. News in 5 minutes? Maybe I'll just sit tight. See, we're right back to that area where we had position before the open. I'm very, very short biased. But I'm not in a trade because I'm just going to kind of watch for a little bit. Because I think I don't know, my observation or my execution it's a little off. So I'll just kind of sit back and watch and see. Because I feel like I'm just trading off, like I'm not on the ball. And because I'm cheap, I don't like getting stopped out unnecessarily. So I'm going to watch and see what it does when it comes to this 96 half area. It's the market that's off? I don't know. See, all the last really 6 weeks, I've had a problem with discipline. I've had a big problem with my self-discipline. And it's reflected in my trading. And not like losses, but just missed opportunities, a little bit of laziness. Sloppiness, being sloppy, right? All I can think about, it's really weird. All I can think about, is like when you were young and you'd go to a friend's cottage and you'd be at the lake and you'd be out on the lake in the summertime. So like I'm distracted in my head. It's not the best thing for trading. Hey Howard, how are you doing? I should have never started taking holidays. I didn't take holidays from 1995 to 2021. I never took a holiday. I started taking holidays, and now you start thinking about vacations. I never used to think about stuff like that. What made me distracted? Summer. I really love summer, so I get distracted, and I've never been this distracted. See what happens when you take holidays? Now it's like all you want to do is go on holidays. It's brutal. I don't know if I could take Adderall, Derek. I'm old. I don't think I can take that stuff. Probably have a heart attack. That's for you young kids. How do you not get? I see. That's exactly what it is. I think I think you get mental fatigue from not taking holidays. It's kind of weird, right? And this market is not exactly the easiest market to trade. You know, it has been a bit of a, truth be told, this is not normal. Like yesterday was once again not a normal day, right? And didn't Google have like not so great earnings either? So Tesla and Google both get bad earnings and the ES just rolls right up. So people who are like trying to correlate stock prices with the ES, they go and short it, they get upside down. And see the thing with this market is, folks, here's a little sort of tidbit of information. The more people who short a market, the more people who short, the easier it is to keep the market higher. But the price action can drive you nuts, right? That's why I always like a good liquidation. And everybody says you're short biased. No, it's not that I'm short biased. I just want some smooth price action, right? So if there wasn't news, I'd be long right now. Right? If we didn't have news, I would have gone long 64.01, put my stop under 6400 and a half, and then sell into these threes and fours. Yeah, price discovery can be violent. It's like those Jurassic Park movies when Jeff Goldblum is warning people about bringing dinosaurs back to life. What does he say? He says life breaks out. It can be violent. Price discovery can be violent. And shorting against price discovery has gotten so many people in trouble. It's brutal. And the more people short it, the higher it goes because everybody has to go cover and there's no supply. Right? So it's like everybody's reaching for the same chocolate chip cookie at the same time. Brutal. Ugh. Now, okay, where's yesterday's high? Yesterday's high is 7.25. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if we take out yesterday's high and if we get over 6408, like it might go like this and go back and forth, but if we get over 6408, please be careful shorting it because what we've done is we've gotten a ton of people trapped short under 6400 in the overnight and they're helping push price higher. If we take yesterday's high, there will be quite a few people who have their stops here. That will trigger some pretty serious buying. And because we're at all-time highs, oh boy, here we go. There's the overnight high, one tick away. There it is. There's yesterday's high. Let's see what kind of buying comes in. See, this is all those buy stops getting triggered, right? If you're short, now what I don't like about this is is the order flow at all-time highs that have never been traded is very unpredictable. After the fact, it looks, oh yeah, I should have just bought this, sold this. But during, so if you are going long, right, try and wait till it maybe backfills, comes back down to 7, and establishes some form of support at 7, 7.5. And then we can use these balance levels and the markup levels. So this will be 4 times cost basis. And I've got levels up to 64.28. So it better not go any higher than that because I don't feel like doing any more levels. We're waiting for something, Howard, to knock this thing down. And I don't want to draw any more levels, man. Every time I draw higher levels, the thing just keeps going higher and higher and higher. I mean, these markets are not created to go down. It's just the way it is. Right? Let's go take a look at, I'll give you an example. Look at the volume on Apple. Right? Apple's traded 7 million shares. Right? Apple's got, what, 15 billion shares available for trade in the float? That thing trades less than 1% of the available stock. Right? All of the stock in these large companies is owned by not hedge funds, but money managers who don't have to sell it because they own it in cash. Okay, here's that backfill down to 7. Let's see if we catch a bid, or is this a look above and fail of yesterday's high? So if you went long like 7.5, 7.75, use the overnight high as a stop. We should get a push higher. Because the bids should be here. Now, if there's no bids here, that tells you to scratch the trade. There's some competition at 8.75, 8.5. Now, if it can't get up over the overnight high, it's going to drop back down into the 4s. Yeah, BlackRock. I mean, hey, and listen, when you have $12 trillion in cash, well, you don't even have to borrow money. And it's okay to scalp short. But do you notice that all the big short sellers are gone now? Right? I'll tell you something. Short selling size is a fool's game in a market that has limited supply. Right? Every stock promoter, every paper hanger knows how you move a stock higher is number one, you get a bank. You get like a very rich individual or a hedge fund to own a big position of your stock that they won't sell. They warehouse it for you. Like Bailey Gifford did on Tesla on the first run. Bailey Gifford came in and bought pretty much the float, and they went publicly on CNBC and said they're not going to ever sell Tesla. Then you go in and you do a short position, and when you do that, everybody shorts the stock, the bank buys it all, and then all of a sudden you lift the offers and you got a short squeeze. And that's how short squeezes have happened since the dawn of time, right? Shorting looks, it looks here, we're coming into the fours, like I said. Shorting looks like it's glamorous, right? They made it glamorous with that movie, The Big Short. But retail shorting size is hard. It's very hard because the markets are intended to go higher, right? Let's see if we get an inventory correction. I'm short 7 contracts at 5 3/4. I'm covering them in the 2s and the 3s. I got 4 left. 2 3/4, taking them back. I got 1 left. Flat at 2 3/4. So when it came back down into the overnight, I sold it. I was a little late in my short, but that's okay. That's okay. Right now, scalping short, there's nothing wrong with that. I took a scalp, and it worked out. But position shorting is tough. I mean, could you imagine being short the ES under 63.06 and it's 100 points higher? Yeesh. Nice work. Good stuff, Hank. Way to get out of that. Way to get out of that. Good discipline. Good discipline. Let's see what happens when B period opens in 4 minutes. Oh, make sure VWAP's in the same place. There it is. That's good discipline to get out of that. See, that's where the execution comes in, Hank? Where you just execute without overthinking, right? Because you've been trained to get out of bad situations quickly. Very good. Yeah, it looked above and failed yesterday's high. Thank goodness. Really, really quite appreciative of that seller. Now, let's see where we find the bid. Oh, man. Gosh, the selling doesn't last long in this market, does it? Go ahead. You can short it for a whole 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes. Go for it. Yeesh. Just brutal. Let's see if we hold the 4.5s. There's not that much inventory above us. We never moved the point of control higher. There's not much follow through up here either, so we are patiently waiting. That's what I tell a lot of people, who are signing up for my mentoring program and things like that. If you can trade this market, if you can learn how to trade during these times, you'll be able to trade pretty much anything. Because this market changes on a day-to-day basis. Oh, goodness. Let's see if we can hold the sixes here. We'll do another rotation higher. So if you did the look below and fail and bought 5, 6, right? We've got some sellers here at just under 7, right there. Let's see if we can hold the 4.5s. We were talking about that week high thing. Do you see how B period sold off right at yesterday's high? So everyone was sitting there waiting to hit it. Someone holding this market up? Yeah, they're called short sellers. And we thank them very much. If you're long, you know, if you're long, go and go hug a short seller because they've been holding the market up for us. Long 5. Offered at 7 3/4. Out one at 7 3/4. Offered at 7.5. Out one at 7.5. I got 3 contracts left. Offered at 8.5, not getting taken. Out at 8, 2 left. Flat. Nice work, Hunter. Nice. And now let's see what it does. I like nice short trades in and out, especially when price action and order flow are very unpredictable. This way I can manage my risk. And now I have to have discipline and stop trading. Just take a break for a second. Yeah, it's like we do have these weird, but they're not smooth trend days, We get a trend day, but it's not a smooth. It's like this jerky. kind of a trend day. I do like to scalp, especially in markets where I'm not. You know, we used to have, years ago, we had this thing and we'd call it Greedy Bastard Day. And that's when markets were a little bit more stable. You could buy a position and hold it. Remember? Any of you guys in the room remember Greedy Bastard Day? It's been a while since we've had one. Okay. What's next here? Uh, the last two candles are higher, the bottom, Howard. And if this one holds, we'll have, yeah, actually the last 1, 2, 3 candles have a higher low. It's been a while, Josh. It used to be you'd buy a little position and just hold on to it and piece it out, right, as the market went higher. That was always nice. But we haven't had a Greedy Bastard Day in a while. It's been a long time. It is creeping higher, Howard. You were right. Good call. Good call. Have you ever seen any weak high low during RTH or? No, I have seen it in RTH. It's kind of rare, but they do happen. God, I remember, was it 4 years ago, 5 years ago? We had like 3 poor lows in a row in RTH. And it was like, uh-oh, it's going to go higher, and then it just ripped. But the markets really have changed quite a bit in the last 5 years. So over 8.5, our sellers are here. We know they're here. The markets have really changed a lot as the electronic execution has gotten more and more, how do I say, sophisticated. The markets have gotten, the choppiness really gets a lot of people it throws a lot of people off. Really throws a lot of people off. No, I think it's adoption of 401k and the warehousing of positions. Algorithms, algorithms just carry out the business practice, right? They make the mechanics of the business more efficient. They make the execution faster, they make decision making faster, they make order flow sensing faster, all of those things. But they don't actually change the business. I think because 401ks and these large, massive um, money managers like BlackRock and I mean, these money managers now have trillions of dollars under management, right? And they're managing that 401k business. So they buy stock in cash. There's no need to ever sell it. And it just warehouses the stock so it doesn't trade freely. So it never actually markets don't actually sell off for any kind of period of time. I did a video on that and I posted it on how the markets have changed. I always find it fascinating. 401k is a retirement savings plan, Aaron. They have things called IRAs, 401ks, all of that stuff for retirement savings, and people's money go in there automatically every month, which gets invested in the market. Oh, this chop. Goodness gracious. It's in the trading room. Do I? Maybe you know what? I'll put it on YouTube, Derek. Yeah, it's basically it's why markets hit new highs after selling. It's only about 14 minutes. I'll post it on YouTube. Okay, Lear, are we ready to sell this thing off a little bit? Good grief. Yeah, I don't know if retail should be putting their money in private equity. But hey, what do I know? Right? I think it's a little risky, but hey. Well, I mean, imagine if retail had gone and put all its money into WeWork. You know, there's no exit. You know, you're just locking up your money in companies that hopefully work out. I don't know. I'm a public guy. I'm a markets guy. I like liquidity. I don't like being corralled into an investment and having to hold it forever. Those are just my thoughts. It's great. I mean, if you've got billions of dollars and you want to sink some money into some app that lets you know when your dog's nose is wet, that's great, right? But if you're a retail person and you're sinking your hard-earned money into something that's not liquid, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. You know, private equity, they put their money in some kooky deals, man. You know, they've got so much money to put to work, they'll buy anything. Venture guys, private equity. Ooh, let's get under VWAP. I don't know. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I need to be more of a cowboy. Hey, but if people want to buy it, sell it to them. That's the market. Okay, let's go take out the lows. Come on. Finally, some liquidation. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. If we can't get above VWAP, we're going to sell this thing down to 96.5. Come on now. Oh, look at those bids coming in. Just banging around, short 99 at 3/4. Cover one at 98.5. Oh, no, 98 3/4 cover. I got 3 left. Let's try 98.5 bid. Oh, flat. Ah, they ripped it. Bastards. Yeah, I mean, I've taken 200 companies public, and most of them are not around. But at least when you take them public, they can trade out of them. How do you trade out of something that's private, right? The other thing too is what I don't like, and now, here, wait till I sound really old now, folks, right? What I don't like is how when you give companies a whack of money, they go through it like poop through a goose. You give a company $5 million, 4 months later they're broke, right? The burn rate on cash is insane, right? Fiscal responsibility are two words that are never put together in a sentence, right? And without public security, public scrutiny, you don't get to see their books. You don't get to see how much money they're going through, right? Just run it hot, right? I didn't say austerity. I said responsibility, right? Just keep printing more money, right? I don't know. I don't know. I'm old. I'm 57 years old, so maybe I'm one of those old conservative guys. Maybe I need to start wearing three-piece suits like John Bogle, right? Start breaking out the three-piece suits and the bow ties, right? There's the seller. Come on. This thing sells off for like 2 candles and then it's right back up again. Ugh. Just like Michael Douglas in Falling Down. That was a bad. That movie was. He played that role really well. Yeah, I'm all for investment opportunity, but I just think that locking up people's money is a bit harsh. It's good to give them an out. That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say that, Sonny. I didn't want to say that. That's a little controversial. So, folks, while we're waiting for this thing to try and take out that 96 level, hopefully we can. I want to remind you all to please like and subscribe for our YouTube channel. And please visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org. I think we're like $19 a month now. It's like ridiculous. It's almost free. Give us a shot. Try it out. See if you like it. We promise we'll teach you some good practical information on how to make money. So that seller is still there. See, I was short and I covered too early. I should have given that short more room to breathe. That's okay. That's a poor low right there. Where you see that A coming right down and stopping a right here, that's a poor low right there, right? That's one tick of excess. That's a poor low. Or if we had just a double bottom like that, that's a poor low. That'd be great to get down to 75 there. It might sell off later on in the day. That would be very healthy. Liquidated into a poor low and caught a bid. So one thing is, folks, if that poor low at 63.96, if that holds, was it 96 quarter? 96 quarter. If that holds, just remember that if you're shorting, right? Just remember if that poor low holds, be careful. Oh, goodness. Hello, Mr. M. Welcome. See? We tagged that, we created that poor low, buying competition, right? Never short into a poor low and hope it breaks. Because a poor low is telling you that there's a ton of buying competition right there. See, and Derek said, right, just she's finally liquidating. And as soon as he typed that, it stopped liquidating. Right? Smart, Matt. That's good that you covered. What a pain, eh? Just when it's selling off, and then all of a sudden the supply's just gone. Poof! Disappeared. That's a pain. So, according to market profile, that's a proper high because it's got 2 ticks of excess. That's a poor low because it's only got 1. Any thought given to inside candles as an indicator? Uh, just business is slow. So if you have inside candles, that means you don't have enough customers to break it out one way or another. So it's back and forth. It's just slow business. That just tells me that the flow of customers coming into the market, is slow. Yeah, you jinxed us, Derek. It's liquidating. Oh, it stopped. Right? That's the same thing. As soon as somebody says trend day, then it stops. It's like jinx. Ugh. Now, how many people do you think are short under 6,400? Right? That's what I think. When I see this, I go, how many people out of this volume are short? We'll know when we get down there because they'll bid it and do this. Right? So just always, I'm always curious. When a market liquidates, okay, the smart money comes in and covers, but then there's a bunch of people who short and they don't know what a poor low is. So they don't even know that. They don't have market profile. They don't see that. They're looking for follow through, and all of a sudden you get a big green candle. What a pain in the tuchus. Massive pain. It may still liquidate yet. It's taking its time. Hopefully we get some liquidation. It'll make for better price action. Until then, just trade the edges in. Okay. What counts as a poor low? Do you see here, Sonny, that one A by itself? That's according to market profile people a poor low. Or if it was a double bottom like that. And that's like a quick little, it's like a quick little warning light that tells us not to short down there. Right? You can see them on candles, but it takes longer to actually visualize it. Here it's like very quickly, it's very apparent very quickly. So if you had 2 half-hour candles, you'd notice that the candle here didn't quite take out the candle here, and you'd know that's a poor low. But with market profile, it's very, very obvious. And that's one of the big things about market profile, which is very handy, right? Is that poor low, poor high thing. You see it right away, and you can manage your trades off of it. Now, if that poor low holds through the whole day, be careful because this thing will rotate up, and if we get back up over the overnight high and yesterday's high, yes, they are good for tight stops, right? Had I been on the ball, I would have seen that poor low. I would have bought, say, 97. Just put your stop right underneath it, right? And then sell into the strength as it goes up, right? It's a great structural trade if you're fast enough. Yeah. My first target would have been VWAP. Or probably 6,400. Nice round number, right? But as you can see, that trade happened in like 90 seconds. So I wasn't fast enough to get it. Good stuff. They don't really explain it in detail, and but I think it's good to know how that works. You know, we're all just trying to make good trading decisions. You know. Alrighty, folks. Well, that wraps it up for this morning. Thank you for joining me. You know, come say hi on our Discord server. We'd love to have you. And if you do join, reach out, ask for help. I'm always around. Thanks, everyone. Have a good trading day. Remember, be disciplined and make sure you take only the trades that make sense, okay? If they don't make sense, you don't have to participate. It's your money, right? And if you have any issues or any problems, reach out. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good day. And remember, folks, don't take candy from strange market makers. Thanks very much for being with me. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.